Let me say good morning. Let me say good morning to the mainland, Grenada, our sister house, Carrie Coo, Petit Martini. Good morning and welcome to another edition of To The Point. Today being Monday, the 27th day of March. Yeah, a couple more days, we wrap up the month of March. We get into a brand new month. Yeah, the month of April. How's everybody doing this morning? Hope you had a great weekend. Yes, that wrapped up. I hope there's lots happened for you during the weekend. May not be the weekend that you have wanted, but if it was the sort of weekend that you wanted in terms of getting stuff done, I'm assuming that you will have a really good week this week. All right. Let's say good morning to viewers this morning via GBN TV. If you're viewing via GBN TV, good morning, welcome. Whether you're viewing Channel 7, Channel 11, or Channel 20, welcome. And certainly hope you're doing A-OK. Our listeners via Classic 105, let me say good morning to you also. Whatever part of the island you are listening, one of the frequencies, whether it's 105.5 or 105.9. Good morning and welcome. Those of you via social media platforms also, let me take the time to wish you a lovely day and welcome to The Point. And it's an open line for today, Monday. Yes, we have no particular subject line, so which means you, our listeners out there and viewers like you, you feel free to come up with a particular subject line this morning that we all can talk about and probably just make comments pertaining to it. All right, so it's an open line, 435-2041, which means your phone calls are welcomed. Just in case there's a particular issue that you want to speak about, feel free to do so. We always have to have loads of things happening on this island. Sometimes we want to chime in, give our view. Some folks would say in regular terms, put a little 2 cents in. Yeah, into it. So feel free to do that. We're going to do this all the way till it's 10 a.m. this morning. 435-2041. Just in case you missed, I'm GT with you this morning. I'm your host and I'll be around with you for the next hour or so. Let's entertain our very first caller this morning. Let's see who's on the line. We get that click there. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning, GT. GT, how you looking bright, sir, this morning? I like the pic that your wife make. Me and your wife like the same thing. You know?
Thank you so much. How are you doing this morning?
GT, I'm good.
All right. How was your weekend?
GT, I had a very good, but I didn't go to church.
All right.
I had some walk home to do. You know, you're out every day and you have little bits to touch up, so I did that.
Well, that's good.
So, GT, my thing this morning is a kind of unusual one, but it's good. I want to reach out to the young people of Grenada. Look, all I could do now is to talk and eat. You understand? So go out there, please. The people that is on the Imani program, you bring yourself slaves of nothing. There is no reward when you're on welfare. It's like a welfare program for life. Now, mind you, if you have a need, like you go to school or something, and you earn that Imani, please stay there. Finish your education and move out and tell them thanks and move on. Because you will be there. Your first, second, third, fourth generation is a course. Look, open your eyes. Please see what's happening. Now, I work abroad and I work in here. I do everything here too, but hear this. There is no way you can compare money like here or there. But it's something you could start somewhere, and you never know what opportunity might come your way. Look at what the politicians doing. They're keeping you all with the 10 days in the road, so you all always depend on a handout. They're keeping you all in the money, so you all always there on a handout. You have no future. People are begging you, please, sign off and start to pelt stone in the river, and you go catch a fish.
So, caller, let me ask you this, caller.
Yes.
So you asking the folks who in the money and who got a little job at the roads and stuff to jump off of that. You understand?
Yes.
For the vast majority of them, where do they go? Or what do they get themselves involved in?
No, GT. There is people on the Imani program who is on the Imani program from Senzi money start. And you know why the people in charge not making sure that they get a job or sign them off? Because they want to have them there, blind them, they corrupt, their mentality, they're stupid, they're dotish, so they stay there, and every election they jump, whoa, 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 and they give you the vote and they put you sit down, and you become king and queen. Look at the African movies. So it's time that now the old people who own it and cannot go and walk again, well, that is a generation, they have to stay on it. But the children of these people who stuck on the money and cannot come out because it's too late now. Let me tell you, try. Go to school. Not everybody could go to college and university and so on, but there is something you could do. I visited a home the other day on the weekend, and this young girl, she's in secondary school. So I sat with her and I said, after you finish school, what you would like to do? And GT, she says to me, when I finish, I'm going to get a walk in the Indian store. And if it was my child that hit a one blow, the police would have come for me. You see the mentality? The mentality. Look at what happened in Delma Thomas. Now, if I was Delma, the Honorable Minister Delma Thomas, I have enough money. Get you big pension, go and open my business and employ people. Delma don't going back there because she loves the people. It's just about a self thing, a power thing. Me, my, and I.
Okay, caller. Okay.
Have a nice
Have
day.
a good morning. Have a good morning. All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Good morning to you. 435-2041. 435-2041. I'm listening. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Hello, morning, GT. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you loud and clear. Go right ahead.
Okay, good morning, and good to see you. You song much more. Every time I hear you, you're getting more and more energetic.
I got that
Good
weekend rest, man. Lots of rest over the weekend.
And I'm serious. I'm not flattering you. Yeah, honestly.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, I will continue from where the lady left off, but not in the negative. In terms of the Honorable Delma Thomas, I asked the question, why is this woman being, ostracized the way she is? Has she done anything wrong? Is there any known accusation of corruption during the time she was in the parliament and in the government? Is it strange that somebody could remain in parliament without alignment to a party and then does work with the state with the state apparatus? It's very interesting that things keep going wrong in circles. There was another woman who experienced that thing, and people tend to forget. The Honorable Grace Duncan of the constituency of St. Joe. And I know she was assaulted, and I know that as a fact because she spoke to me, by supporters of the regime when she decided to take a principal stand. When she decided she didn't go into that convention, a certain party supporter called her and said the worst thing to say about her. She was treated unceremoniously. People like Mr. Mark Isaac, he could tell you the story. He helped win, for an MP 95, and he was treated almost like a dog. So it's not unusual. Once you fall out with the leader of that group, you become persona non grata, you become pariah. It's unfortunate that the person who said, after in the Hurricane Ivan, let us work together, and when the opposition at the time said, okay, let's work together, we prepare. He said, two-man rat can live in the same hole or work in the same hole, whatever. So it's a pattern, a real pattern of the behavior of a geriatric politician and his cohorts on them. Some of them are singing for the supper. I don't have to sing for nobody's supper. Nobody gives me things in terms of from a political point of view. So you could back at me when I'm finished. No, I'll leave that here.
All right.
But no, I'm coming to another thing in terms of that was raised on your radio program this morning, the issue of the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
I would say there's no doubt. I think it's even PAHO. I've said that the current location of the hospital is not feasible. We need to move it. Now, in going forward, we need to ask ourselves a few questions. Where we are going to put the hospital, is it the best place? I'm not questioning right or wrong. No. Is it the best place? In the light of all that is about to happen, climate change, harsher weather, whatever. So are we going to build in a place that could be taking the whole issue of climate? Also, well, of course, accessibility, impact on the environment, even on the social environment, people around there, in terms of how you deal with waste and all that kind of thing. And also, what kind of structure, what kind of hospital in terms of, is it going to be a general hospital that is publicly owned, or is it a hospital that will be public and private or private? And I don't support anything in the state, like in a situation like having any dealing with the private sector, regardless of what you call them. When you call them medical school, it should be our stuff where the taxpayers pay for the upkeep of the, whatever scheme is worked out. This should be totally ours, not anybody else.
All right.
So it's welcome, and we need to ensure that this thing is built. Unlike some of the things that was built in the past, the ministerial complex, which is a problem up to now, is almost a health challenge. Continuously a health challenge. So these are the things we should ask. And I think one I would suggest to the government is that they engage us in consultation so that we could fully build. So many people have ideas and so on that we could take from it and have the best for us. Bearing in mind, we're not building the hospital so much for ourselves this generation, but for future generations. Thank you, JT.
Thank you so much. All right. 435-2041. A lot of pertinent questions that have been asked by the caller, and I think there are questions that the folks in authority wonder if the proposed site is being considered, and those are pertinent questions need to be asked, and certainly hope the necessary studies will be done in terms of as the caller mentioned, is it for climate change and all of these things that may be of concern to us. I certainly hope when that time comes, we get those questions answered. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to you.
I have a concern, and I hope somebody that knows more than me could respond to my concern. I was in St. George's sometime last week. I was relaxing right at the mall there, and a guy came smoking. So I kindly asked him, I said, "Sir, can you just move away a little, because I'm asthmatic, and I was just taking a rest there for a while." And the man, he genuinely got up to go somewhere, and the people around me told the man he could sit there and smoke. It's open space. So I was, it is right to smoke where he's smoking, and he could smoke because it's open space. So I asked, I said, "So what is my right?" And they told me, "Ma'am, it's either you sit down here and take the smoke or you go. But you can't tell the man to excuse you or anything like that. The man could smoke wherever he wants." And I said to myself, so I am a non-smoker. I'm asthmatic, so that means I have no right in the open space. What is my right? Because if my right is to sit down, is either I sit down and take the smoke, or I leave the place. But all around town is open space. So if I go around, sometimes I'm walking on the sidewalk and people pumping, the person walking behind, they just pump out the smoke. And I'm wondering, do I have right in town? Or do I have any right in the open space? Should I just remain at home? Because they keep saying, "Oh, you're not in your bedroom, you're not in your house, so you have to take what you get when you're in open space." So I'm wondering, Do I have any right as a non-smoker, as an asthmatic non-smoker? Do I have rights in this nation? Do I have any right under the open space? Or should I just remain at home?
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. And I certainly understand where the caller is coming from. Well, folks are permitted to smoke in open spaces. Yeah, that's something that is permitted. And there are various, buildings and so forth where you may be deemed no smoking. So if you're in an open space, you permit it. It could be ticklish in terms of responding to you and saying about your rights, in terms of you being in the open space and somebody comes out there and smoke. It could be a matter of choice for you as an individual if you move away. That you don't have a right to be in the open space also. And that's just my personal take on it. If somebody comes around in an open space and they're smoking and you don't want to be part of it, you could move to another location. You understand? That's just my simple take on that. Let's go back to the caller. Good morning to you, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling about the drains on the Monroe stretch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is really disgusting. There are mosquitoes breeding in it, and it smells awful. I really wish somebody in charge can hear this and do something about it.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. And that caller is asking about that the drains, that the stench that comes from it, it's the breeding of the mosquitoes and so forth. She's asking that someone look into that. Let's take a couple of the comments before we take our first break this morning. Let's take a quick peek at some of the comments. Let's say good morning to Zephyrin. Zephyrin, good morning. Hope all is best. Soon. We suddenly see you in the Spice Isle. The Donnie McClurkin concert is coming up April the 7th. Suddenly hope to see you in the Spice Isle pretty soon, sir. And let's take a couple of the comments before we entertain another call. But before we entertain another call, we will be taking a break, all right? Let me see if I could grab some of the comments quick. Let's take this one from Ernesto. Ernesto, you always seem to be getting to kick the ball off. I was watching a video over the weekend with the opposition leader, and it was embarrassing to see the poorly turned out of his he received after winning the constituency for a number of years by a great margin. I think the people of the constituency and the supporters is telling the opposition leader time for a change, shake up the NNP, because the same leader had promised that in the last election it was his last. But seems like he is campaigning mood and has no intention of going anywhere. And we see, of course, Wendy saying, caller, you can move from there. You cannot tell anyone to leave because you have a problem. This is a public space. All right. So I guess I understand. And let's see what. Grenada is a lawless country. We have Hakim saying this. Grenada is a lawless country. I may not agree with you on that, where citizens disrespect each other with no respect and empathy towards their own countrymen and women. How distasteful and sad. Anyway, we due for a break. Let's take that break. When we come back, we entertain more of your calls here on To The Point, the open line edition for today. We're coming right back.
Do you know, when you play the games of the National Lotteries Authority, you are supporting sports, culture, and nation building in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique?
Hi, I am Junior Murray, cricket coach, sports enthusiast, and a former West Indies cricketer. I endorse the games of the NLA 100%. For the past 40 years, the NLA has been funding many sporting activities, including competition for schools and clubs, and for athletes to participate in overseas tournaments such as the Carifta Games and the regional cricket tournaments. Additionally, they made it possible for you, the public, to view local, regional, and international tournaments from the comfort of your homes. For those reasons, I play the game of the NLA. Even if I do not win, I know Grenada always wins.
Yes, when you play all the games, the NLA in turn supports sports, culture, and nation-building activities throughout the Tri-Island state.
Here's what customers had to say about Domus Windows and Doors.
The service was excellent with Domus.
Excellent customer service.
just out of frustration, searching, and just came across you, and I think it was one of my best find ever.
A good feature is that I didn't have to install any burglar proofing on the door because they have laminate glass.
The manufacturing time was on point.
Thanks for what you all are doing. I will continue to be a customer.
Visit Caribbean Shutters, Windows and Doors for Domus quality UPVC solutions.
Welcome back to listeners and viewers this morning to The Point for today, Monday, the 27th day of March. It's an open-lined edition this morning, which means your phone calls are welcome. You probably have a comment you want to make about a particular issue. Feel free to do so, and it's an open line. Let's go back to the phone line and say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning, you're welcome.
Good morning. Yes, sir. You know, it always hurts me to hear people are talking about democratic rights. All of us have rights. If somebody is doing something wrong among you all, then you have your democratic right to move away from you. It might be even your democratic right to slap them, but it would be their democratic right to put you to court. So the best thing is to study your interests. How can I get away or defend myself? So if I were to take what this the person called and say that they cannot stand smoke or whatever it is, I would advise them their democratic right is to move away, not to stay and take the smoke. This is what is happening maybe in Grenada. Everybody talking about democracy. It is your democratic right to go down with 10 dogs in St. George and let they defecate the place. What is it other people's democratic right to stop you from doing it, or the police? So everybody only talking about democracy. They have a vague idea about rights. They have a vague impact. Even this morning, you hear people talking about hospital. As far as I'm concerned, anybody has the right to build a hospital, whether once the government or the ruling government or whoever it is give them the permission to build a, whether it be private or government, and everybody has the right to charge how much they want in their hospital. You have the right not to go in the hospital. Even if you want to go, you have the right to try to make enough money to go there. Competition is a healthy thing. If they have another fellow like you, or better than you, you think you might be sitting down there now? Competition. You have to try to be better than the other person. That's why you are there. Thank you.
Point taken, sir. Have a good morning. 435-2041. 435-20. Point taken. You made a whole lot of sense, sir. 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller this morning. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I have been listening to certain contributions made by people, and people have to be reasonable. In an open space, no one has the right to pollute the air and threaten the health of any other person in that open space. The space is open, but not for you to pollute the air. So the person spoken is one to get away from there, because you are polluting the air and threatening the health of an individual. Thank you.
Thank you also for your contribution this morning, sir. 435-2041. 435-2041. That could be contended there a little bit. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, you're so welcome. Good morning.
Morning, GT. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty well.
GT, the Chinese is here and they're doing some work. But when you go down by the airport, GT, all the signs they have, all the flags, all the writing, it's in Chinese. You know, we Grenadians don't understand what they have written on those things, right? When you go in China, they have the right things in English and in Chinese. So why they come to Grenada and they're doing some work for us and they put everything in Chinese for nobody to understand? What they want to say, maybe after when you finish the airport is there or something? I don't understand. I think the government should make sure that they put the writing in English and in Chinese.
Point
Okay?
taken, sir.
Thank you.
Point taken. Thank you so much. Thank you, Simon. You do have a point. The caller do have a point because it's a standard that you put it in both languages. Yes, both whatever country that their language and the spoken language of the country. You're so right. You're so right about that. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let me see if we could grab some comments from the Facebook page before we entertain another caller. And Akim is saying, listen to the arrogance. She's asthmatic attack. Let us start that. Well, let's not finish off that there. That's a little bit contentious there for me. But it's only a common respect if you are someone sitting in an open space and you want to smoke. Just go smoke somewhere else. That's what I'm trying to say. Of course, it's for everyone to enjoy. Let's go back to the phone line. Guess we lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning, and you're welcome. Good morning to you.
Good morning, JT.
Good morning to you.
I trust you'd have had a good weekend.
I certainly did. I did.
Over the years, I've learned that the public servants are liable to be transferred at any time. And I find it strange now that you're hearing so much people talking about transfers that have been made within the public service. And I'm a bit taken aback. I distinctly remember when Senator Joseph was head of FIU and recently came from some studies abroad and performed well. He was transferred. I also remember that of Mr. Fleming that was head of the immigration and was doing exceptionally well. He was transferred to another department where, he had no knowledge. He had to cope and he dealt with it. I also remember there was this custom officer that was on duty on the airport when, by performing his duty, such an individual and was sent on a desk where he practically had nothing to do. And this continue on and on, from various governments. So I am taken aback now. What is this? You talk about this person is being transferred when we know that public servants and senior public servants, it depends on, where you are. And, according to who is in authority, you will most likely be transferred. Have a good day. I thank you.
You too, caller. Have a great morning, and all the best goes out to you. 435-2041. That's the number if you want to get on to the point this morning. It's an open-line edition. Lots of comments I'm seeing on the Facebook page, which means the conversation is on. And let's take a comment from the WhatsApp before we entertain another caller. So if a non-smoker is in an open space and a smoker comes smoking next to the non-smoker, why is it that one should be the non-smoker? Why it should be that I guess the individual should? Why it should be that the non-smoker should move or should be the one having to move? Well, that's a bit of a complication there. So that may have to be figured out. Good morning to you, caller. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hi. I would like to talk about that open space and the smoking.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really problem with that myself. I am asthmatic. And I am thinking that, the people that smoke does not really think about others. They think about themselves because it's enticing, right, to them. I'm also thinking that the government has a lot to play in that. Yes, a lot. So for me, I would say the government should make a rule, a law that says you can smoke, right? But 4 feet away, 7 feet away, whatever. But they should distinctly say that. So then if they do, then people can say, look, the government actually put laws and we should adhere to those laws. Think about the people that have cancers. And I think it's not fair. There's a lot of people that get in lung cancer and never was a smoker. So I don't think it's fair for those people, to actually breathe in your smokes. The second-hand smoke is the most deadliest. The second-hand smoke. So I think that, people should be more considerate of others. Even like in restaurants. You go to some restaurants and there's kids there, and you have a smoking division. Like, kids are there. Like, what are the government doing? So the government has a huge role to play when making those laws, implement them, and I'm sure that people is going to adhere to those laws. So that is my contribution this morning. I want people to think about others, not just about themselves.
Thank you,
Think
caller.
about others. Think about if it's your mom or your dad or your children that have cancers and they have to breathe in that smoke. It's not fair. You know, it's not okay.
Thank you.
Let's love each other and let's do the right thing. And let's pressure the government. Let's somebody advocate. I don't live here, but somebody advocate, you know, and create maybe a email, you know, address to twist the government hands. Let them make laws that would change the people pattern, people behavior, so that others, you know, like everybody actually would be able to live in a society where we enjoy Grenada. So let the government do something that people would say, you know what, I want to go to Grenada because I enjoy going to Grenada, right? So have a great day.
You too, caller. Have a good one yourself. 435-2041. Well, it's simple. You know, areas could be designated smoking and non-smoking if it's in an outdoor area. I'm just seeing from the top of my head what could be, you know, even though it's an outdoor, you could say that particular area designated. That's where, as the caller rightly did mention, you know, maybe government could have these signs put up. Educate us enough. You know what, you could smoke out there, you know, but you should be a certain distance away from others. You know, and maybe that could work for in some way or the other. Let's take one more call in this segment before we go for the break. Let's entertain this caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Brother GT.
How are you doing this morning, sir? Good morning.
Not too bad. My contribution is this. If you're in an open space and you need to smoke, go somewhere on the side by yourself. Everybody doesn't smoke. They can't expect to come in an open space with all these people and light up a cigarette and smoke. Put yourself in a car and smoke a cigarette and come back.
I agree.
Thank you.
I agree with you, caller. I agree with you so much. Let's take a break. We coming right back. More of your phone calls. Seems like the issue of smoking in open space and just smoking in general seems to be the contentious issue everyone seems to be chiming in on this morning. We coming right back. Stay with us.
Island Star's annual Easter clearance sale is here, and boy, do we have some exciting deals for you. Massive savings on tires to be had with discounts from 10 to 35% off on all tires store-wide. Buy all we have in the low stock model and watch your discounts skyrocket with a huge 50% off. Plus, get chip edge tires for as low as $1. Yes, we're clearing out our old stock to bring in the new. And that's not all. The Easter Bunny has added extra savings on tubs, bathroom vanities, tile tools, and so much more. It won't get any better than this. Jump on these excellent deals and visit our Island Style showroom on Monroe Road in Grandans or call 439-TILE. That's 439-8453. Sale ends Holy Saturday. When you think tile, think Island Style.
Kerani James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Kerani James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, get going, Dasani Water and Power Aid, and the National Lotteries Authority.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers this morning. It's to the point for today, Monday, the 27th day. I hope you already wrapped up the first half hour of the show this morning. It's an open line edition this morning. And, you know, I've been speaking to someone off air for a while, and, you know, they made a comment that I think, you know, it could gravitate to what a lot of folks been chiming in this morning. You know, lots of folks are concerned, just so concerns about things, and the concerns have been raised from time to time over the years pertaining to lots of issues. And it's only when it becomes out of hand, or it becomes a little bit uncontrollable, if I could say, put that word in there, you know, that's when we try to do something about it. And it's never got nipped in the bud, at the earliest stages of it. It becomes out of hand, and, you know, we can't control it anymore. Then we try to control it, and that's where the problem lies. And I think that's one of the little bit of problems not a little, but that's one of the problems, I think, we suffer a whole lot in this little spice isle of ours. Let's go to the phone line. Guess we lost that caller. 435-2041. It's the open line edition this morning here on To The Point, which means you callers, you listeners and viewers, I should say, have the option of calling and sharing your views and a concern. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning. You're welcome.
Morning, GT. How are you today?
Not bad, sir. Doing good.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know, I always have some trouble.
Yeah, what trouble are you going to give this morning?
Yeah, well, not trouble, but complaint. Well, I know you know, a couple of months ago, I had some issue with this garbage coming down on me and all kind of thing. For years, and well, I didn't get
What area is that?
That is Monrouge area.
Monrouge area.
And then the big man staying around, so that was even worse. Garbage all in the road, they had to pass and garbage. Well, eventually I come up with the idea and I do something. And I do some writing up and I think it and I so on, do my things. All the different nationality that's staying in the area, write it up and what. And put a Grenada flag and a mark Grenada nice. So anytime you're passing and you see Grenada nice, that is my work. And right now, from 3 months ago up to the date, there's over 60 people, because I tell you, 60 couples, not singles, taking photos. So it become a photo site. Then I heard the lady talk about this Monrouge string. Citizens by investment. The bottom of Monrouge Road, drain, where the water have to come out. Citizens by investment, that they buy that part of the drain. They buy the drain and everything. So that is one problem. So I don't know how they'll get in. They own about 250 feet of that drain, and it's fenced. So and that is bottom end. So you know what, if the drain come from top and reach into bottom. Citizen, the same thing what the complainer had by the well. Citizens by investment. So I didn't expect to go. That's them that building the hotel down there. And we had the problem with them. That is the same people they had the problem with to go on with the wall and Granans Beach where they had to protest and do all kind of. That's the same owners and same company. So me and that problem with that. Well, I knew when I was calling, I knew who are the whole setup, but I just wanted to make a complaint. But I know there wouldn't have been anything else, because what I said, changes or improvement come by a cost. So we have to be the cost. Thank you.
Thank you also for your contribution this morning, caller. You said a lot there. You know, sometimes you try to decipher the direction you're going. 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller. Caller, you're so welcome. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, GT again. I'm sorry I have to come back, but I want to support Mr. Marshall when he said that no one has a right to pollute the air that we breathe. The air is common, is part of the commons, and we have a right to health, and no individual has a right to pollute the air. That's why there's regulation, how you do things if you're burning stuff. And so we also have almost lawlessness with people using disinfectants and insecticides. It's poisoning us. There were so many of us are dying from cancer. I mean, so many, Grenada is almost near lawlessness. So I have difficulty with people saying that the person who stole should move. Why she should move? I mean, if we have to create a society where there's respect for everyone. Even in the public, you have houses that are very nearby, and people smoke, and the smoke carry. So we had to make a decision whether we want a healthy population or we want a sick population. We know the expense that smoking causes. And the earlier caller that said that, they can't smoke is even more dangerous than first-hand smoke. Just likewise, when we breathe diesel, exhaust from diesel, they have discovered there are particles of carcinogenic material in the diesel. So we have to really do something. Either we want people with things flashing around, or we want a society where everybody's healthy. Health, we say, is wealth. But we don't really honor that. I have problems. I myself have issues with sinuses. And I have to endure that nonsense throughout my life. We have to do something about it. Thanks for indulging me. Thanks.
Thank you also for your contribution this morning. Let's see if we could grab some of the comments this morning. Let's go to the WhatsApp this morning. And the individual on the WhatsApp is saying they're asking please to remind students to display their best behavior during the sporting activities. Yes, parents, maybe you have a word of caution to your sons, daughters about portraying their best behavior at the sporting activity. There was someone asking a while ago if we can be carrying the games live. Yes, the games will be live here on GBN. You can certainly look forward to that. Let's see another comment this morning. Please ask if there is no smoke in it. And let me see if I get one. Good morning, sir. Let me see if I get. Somehow I'm losing that comment from time to time. Let's entertain a caller until I could have that problem rectified. Caller, good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Not bad, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling for the program.
Go right ahead. You go right ahead.
Yeah, I think we need to understand as a people that our problem at this point is as a result of our behavioral pattern, right? Some of us have become so comfortable with who we are that we don't care how our lives impact the lives of other people. The question is, how do we solve that, right? Some people, in a quest to obtain money, created all kind of things that might seem to be in the interest of us, but when we look at it, it's destructive to us, right? We accept a lot of things as humans because we were programmed to believe that they are good for us. We shy away from the natural stuff that is designed to actually benefit us. We look at our food. We'll find the longest line in tongue is from Kentucky. These things impact on our behavioral pattern. So the question is, how, as a people, what needs to be done? If we could look for a solution where we can take responsibility as individuals to think right, act right, and then we will get the right results. Because we cannot continue to do the wrong thing and look for good results. It cannot happen. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, also, caller, for your contribution. Let's take another comment from the WhatsApp this morning. So what happens, this individual says, so what happened what happens when marijuana smoking is legalized? Should the non-smokers be run out of the use of the open space? The non-smokers has a right to choose not to smoke. That's a comment there via the Facebook. Let's go to the phone line this morning. Caller, good morning and you're welcome.
Morning. That what you just said with that personal line, that crossed my mind. Because if this government say they're going to legalize marijuana, it means if you legalize it, it means that people, you can't prevent them from smoking it. But if you decriminalize it, that's a difference. So it's two different things. But I don't know. I have to wait on this because I'm not for this legalizing of marijuana. It's a bad idea. So probably what they have to do, just do it for medicinal purposes. Because people are going to smoke, you can't prevent them. That's a bad idea. This morning I spoke about in relation to the hospital in terms of the charges. Because the previous government before had this CT scanner. And people have to pay. That's not if you're inside the hospital. They have to pay something for like $800, I think, on $900 to the lowest, go up to $2,005. And people could come and say, oh, our custom talking about everybody, and I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I am saying that if the government have some hospital, the government hospital. You have to be reasonable. This idea of people going away and the argument that they put forward this morning, not everybody has to go away. So I'm saying that it is shameful that the government should be, because it's this government that implemented the cost. I mean, you have to take into consideration that people wouldn't be able to all those fantastic price, even though 200 or 300, but all the thousands is just like what they're doing outside. So I think it's a fair comment. It's not that I'm complaining. If other people have to go away, it's not a problem. But the people who can't afford it, government must make it affordable for people, and they're not doing that. And finally, about the new hospital, I am glad and I welcome it. But all you really, really think that it will be that it will be cheaper? You have to take into consideration it's a top of the line, it's a teaching hospital, and as far as I understand, because the government haven't even said more information is needed, because they were saying that they're going to do plastic surgery and all the different things as a medical tourism hospital and a teaching. So I have no problem with all these fancy things, but I'm talking about accessibility to the poor people. You think the medical school go have a free hospital? I'm happy for it, but people wake up and don't have this thing about complaining. I'm saying to you, and then the government talk about transforming health. If you're transforming health, it begins with the people, not the building. You have to put facilities that people would be able to access it and easy to pay. You can have the same for things that like outside $2,000 and $3,000. So you have to bring the cost down so that it's affordable. And right now it's not affordable. So that's all I say. I'm not complaining.
All right, caller, thank you. Thank you for your contribution this morning. 445-2041, 445-2041. Just approximately 10 minutes left on this morning's show. And we taking your calls, 445-2041. Let's go back to the phone line. It's open line edition of To The Point. Good morning to you, caller. Good morning.
Now, we talk about smoking. I live in Granans, and I live by a couple that they always have big fire lighting. I spoke to the wife about it, and she told me she wanted to smoke me out. I must get out of here. And it happens every day. And the people who does the burning are sensible persons.
And so basically, caller, you are talking about someone lighting fires around their home.
And they're saying to me, if I don't like it, I must move. They're going to smoke me out. And the burning, if you go to the police, wherever you go, they does nothing about it. You call the fire brigade, they does nothing about it. Up to this week, these people are burning all day in this kind of weather.
All right.
I'm tired of them. I'm so sick of those people. And one is a former principal in the Cali school, so they should know better. And one is a doctor, he says. Bye-bye.
All right, caller. Thank you there for your contribution also. Guess something could be done or look into that problem that you are experiencing. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right, sir. This problem, this issue we have with the health system. A few months ago, we had a program on Beyond the Headlines with Dr. Francis Martin and an insurance company who's seeking their own interest. And I made a statement, and up to now, it seems as though what I said didn't make sense. But if you look at it, we are a small island. And if you have a national health service, not an NIS service, a national health service, where everybody contributes towards. You have more Grenadians living abroad than in Grenada. You have foreigners coming here to live or coming here on holidays. If we have a good health service where when you have certain medical problems, you can deal with it appropriately, I believe at the end of the day, that will be much more reasonable and have a better, we as Grenadians could live a better lifestyle. All we got to do, as I said, we have the system where everybody contributes. When you could then encourage people, the working class, to take out an insurance policy so that when you get down in age, at least you have something coming to you. Whether you don't have to take if those who want to take a life insurance policy or a 60-year or 65-year-old policy, at least you have something to help you and help your family through. When you look at NIS and you have NIS, you work in the NIS for 40, 50 years contributing, and it's only a fraction of what you contribute NIS is giving back to you. And your family is deprived of your hard-earned cash. So I believe what we need is a national health service where everybody contribute. And as I said, I believe the outside world will help. If they're going to come here, you have Grenadians living abroad, as I said, they will help contribute. So I think this is what is needed. It's left to the government to implement that. Well, another thing I'm concerned about, I know and this could be controversial, we have the Americans came in here and whitewash Grenada. We had the Americans coming here during the revolution and destroy a lot of good programs that the revolution had, and they walk away. We have the Americans here still in Grenada from what happened over the weekend. We had issue with look at this issue with the Molyneux Road. I believe this could be a prime opportunity for the Americans to help do something constructively for the benefit of the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PD Martinique. Seeing that they came and do what they did, I believe if the government of the day look into it, you're not begging, because I think just as they say, we entitled to reparation from slavery. I believe we entitled to reparation from what the Americans came in and did. So I don't know why, some people need to get their head together and look towards the interests of the people when some countries could just come and do what they want and then leave.
Caller, take another 10 seconds and wrap, please. Thank you. All right, thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We drew for a break. Let's take it. It will be a final break. We come back approximately 5 to 6 more minutes left on today's show. We coming right back after the break.
Kerani James blazed the tracks at the National Stadium. Anderson Peters dominated at the same venue. Both were elite athletes before moving on to the international circuit. Grenada, the pursuit of glory has returned as secondary schools are back on the track and in the field. And GBN is here to shine the spotlight on our emerging stars. Join us for the live broadcast of the annual Intercall Games on GBN television. Coverage begins 9 a.m. on March 28th. 3 days, 74 events, 23 schools, 2 champions to be crowned. Republic Bank Inter-Secondary Schools Athletics Championship, March 28th, 29th, and the 30th at the Kerani James Athletic Stadium. GBN, with you, everywhere and anywhere.
Made possible by Guardian General Insurance, Rubis, get going, Dasani Water and Powerade, and the National Lotteries Authority.
And engage with the experts, help to find common solutions for common problems during this COVID situation. We fight it to protect our livelihood across the nation. This is for we to learn, share ideas and concerns, live life like we deserve. We must change we mindset first. Build strong economies, closer societies. We all have a duty. CEF is for me and you. Beyond COVID, CEF is for me and you. Caribbean Economic Forum.
Hey, welcome back, listeners and viewers this morning. Just the final couple of minutes left on today's show for today. Let's entertain a caller in this segment. Let's go to the phone line. Caller, good morning, welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, I've been listening to your program, and somebody was saying that America should come and help. In a war, it's a war they're fighting. It's not a friendly war. It's a war. And whatever is damage. Whoever in the country will have to do what they have to do. And everybody now is complaining about this and that. For the past 22 years, I didn't hear them complain like that. They want everything right now. They've seen everything like now they have 6 eyes. They could see front, back, north, west, east, and south. Have a nice day, will you?
You too, caller. Have a good day yourself. 435-2041. 5 minutes moving out before 10 o'clock. Pretty soon we get set to wrap today's program. So let's entertain another caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome. Good morning to you, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah, countries which have proper laws in place and some semblance of law and order, smoking is banned in public spaces. We need to learn. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution also. 435-2041. 435-2041. Let's entertain another caller this morning. Caller, you're welcome. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Taylor. Good morning to you, and I wish you all the best for the rest of the day.
Same to you.
I just want to release a word from the Word of God to the nation, especially people who have different people who they adhere to as the religious leader, or whatever they term them. In the book of Acts, chapter 4 and verse 12, it says, "Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved." So Jesus Christ is the only way of salvation for humanity. Other religious leaders are religious leaders, but they are not savior. They cannot save, but Jesus saves. And I just want to encourage people to give their lives to Christ, because we are in the last days, and it says if we die in our sins, where he is, where he went, we cannot come. And he died to make the way for us, and we must not let that be squandered and live on the earth, see all the trouble that we complain about, and then die and go to hell for eternity. So my advice to Grenada, receive Christ. He is the only hope, the only way of salvation. God bless you, sir. God bless Grenada.
Thank you also, caller, for your contribution this morning. Highly appreciate it. Moving up, 3.5 minutes before the top of the hour. It's about time for me to take a wrap for today's show. I certainly want to thank all who contributed some way or the other to today's program, whether via your calling in or via the messages you send via the WhatsApp, Facebook, the WhatsApp or the Facebook messaging. I want to thank you a whole lot. You sit back home and you listened, and there were thoughts that were percolating through your mind. Probably you didn't pick up that phone and call, but somehow you would probably one of these days make your contribution live. Certainly that will be appreciated. So that's why I say goodbye for today. I want to thank all once again. Have yourself a great day. Take care of yourself and others. Have yourself a good one, folks. That's where we wrap up to the point for today. That's why I say goodbye.